Okay, so for today's creative workshop, we haven't done this in a while. We haven't shared any reviews or testimonials or messages that we might have had from customers or clients. So I know that I haven't done this in a while as well. So that's kind of prompted me to prompt you guys to do it. So ideally, you will have possibly Google reviews, Etsy reviews, Facebook reviews, um, however you like collect feedback. That might be that you do it through a Google form, or in some other way, you might get feedback from your customers and your clients. It might simply be messages through WhatsApp or Instagram or something like that. That is absolutely fine. However, you gather up all your reviews and testimonials and stuff, we're going to take some little parts of those and we're going to make them into a carousel today. Okay. So I have a template that I use on Canva, and I am very strict with myself now. Like that is the template I have chosen. That is the one that I'm going to use. I'm not going to faff around with it because we know what we're all like. We can find something else and we want to change it, and we spend ages moving all the stuff around. But I'm going to use the template that I have on Canva for it to make a carousel. If you haven't got one, then there's lots on Canva that you can use as a starting point. But you just need some kind of color, some kind of background, and some kind of text over the top of it. And a carousel simply is just multiple graphics, multiple images, or multiple. People think of them as posters, like leaflets, like posters. You have like multiple of them and people swipe through. So I want you to gather up 2, maybe 3 really good quotes or messages that you've had from people. It doesn't even need to be recent. A quote is a quote, a review is a review, even if it was from a year ago. But if there's one that you really think is really, really strong, I want you to highlight that, and we're going to use that on the carousel just to remind people of what you do and that you have happy customers, and that's the outcome they could have if they buy your thing, or they book your power hour, or they work with you in some kind of way. Okay, so I'm just going to show you the one that I have put together, and if you want to use the same hook on the first slide, then absolutely do. So this is my one here. Let me make it big. Make it bigger. Here we go. So things I've been told recently that have made me smile. So this isn't like I'm going to here are some Google reviews from my customers, because that's not going to hook anybody in. Although the content is still exactly the same, we want to use a hook that's maybe a little bit softer than here's a bunch of reviews I want everyone to see. So you could use this one if you want, things I've been told recently that have made me smile, because as your reviews come in, as your messages come in, ideally this is going to be good feedback that makes you feel positive. So then you can go on and share a couple of examples of that. I've also put this hook into ChatGPT to give me a couple of other options. If you like that one but don't think it's quite right for you for whatever reason, then I'm going to just show you what ChatGPT has given me. I do this every now and again, mainly for hooks, if I'm honest, or if I have an idea, but then I know that there's probably more ways that I could share stuff on that topic, then I'll just ask ChatGPT to kind of rejig it for me. So here's some other sort of hook ideas that might be more fitting for you if you're not a fan of that one that I came up with. So little joys I've collected lately, words that have brightened my day, recent compliments that made me glow, moments that made my heart happy this week. That's quite a cute one. Unexpected happiness in my inbox. Any of those that kind of seem maybe more fitting. But they're all going to lead into you giving some of your Etsy reviews or your Google reviews, or screenshots of messages, or even just like written out what people have shared with you. But I think the hook is quite key here, because I do see reviews shared in quite a boring way. I know that sounds awful, but just like here's a customer review that I've got, and it's very kind of boring. So just changing that hook up at the beginning can make it a little bit more softer and a little bit more engaging. So that's the idea for today then. So for you to grab 2 or 3 reviews, use your Canva template for your carousel if you've got one. If not, then you could create one during this session, and use the hook, use my hook or the hooks I've just shared from ChatGPT, and I can always put them back up for you so that you are building out a carousel post. And then it's up to you what you want to put in the caption underneath. It probably doesn't need a huge amount, but it might just need a little bit of context for where those reviews have come from, or if they're all talking about the same kind of product or the same kind of service, then you can give a bit of information about that in the caption underneath. And then you could share it as a feed post on Instagram, but that has multiple slides to it and that people slide through. That's what makes it a carousel. Let me just show you what's on my last one. So this is, so I've done things that I've been told recently that have made me smile, and then I've got a snippet of the quote, and then just like a little bit of context with it. You don't necessarily need to do that, but you might want to put a snippet of the quote and then what it relates to or what it's about, just to help people out with that. So I've done a couple of those. And then on my last slide, which is the same as the last slide of all my other carousels, it's like a call to action of like, if you want more help, you can sign up for my free emails, or you may have one that's like, if you are interested in this, go to my website. Or if you're interested in this, then you can message me. And I have this as the last slide for pretty much all of my carousels, so I don't need to change it. But do think about what you might want people to do once they have seen your reviews, or they've swiped through and they've got a nice idea. What is it that you would like them to do? Do you want them to go and have a look at your Etsy shop? Do you want them to join your newsletter? Do you want them to message you a question? Like, think about what you might want them to do afterwards. Okie doke.